Hey guys, what's up? Cardfight here, and today I'm here with the Transcore deck profile. This is the Transcore build with the updated Mithril-Core stuff from Fighters Collection. So, without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. So, starting Vanguard, we're running Eric. Eric is the Grade 3 searcher for Aqua. It's kind of lost one. Move this card into a soul, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and then from there, choose one Grade 3 or above Aqua Force unit and add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. So, pretty standard Grade 3 searcher. Mainly, you're running him to increase your chance of hitting into Transcore if you don't have it in hand, or if you don't have any of the grade 2 thing. So there's that. Next, we are running 4 Transcore dragons, obviously. He's a break ride, and his skill is when a grade 3 or above. Wait, no. When an Aqua Force unit rides on top of this card, then it gets plus 10,000 power and a new skill. And the skill is when this card attacks, or when the card that got this skill attacks, your opponent can discard a card from the hand. If they do not discard a card, then your unit gets +1 critical, and he can't call units to the Guardian Circle. So this card was kind of like Phantom Blaster Diablo before Blaster Diablo was a thing. They have to discard, or else they can't guard. It's you might use it sometimes, but most of the time you just wanna use it because of the name. Mithril-Core is pretty strong. It's not like super broken, but it makes a lot of your units have a lot more pressure. So yeah, but Transcore Dragon actually works decently well with Savas. Savas is obviously Savas, or Stavas, however you want to call it. If you want, you can run Tetra Drive, but Savas is a better misride. If you misride into Savas, you still have the Stride Break, so that's pretty cool. And Savas' skill is Generation Break 2. When this card attacks a Vanguard, if it's the 4th battle or more during this turn, during this battle, it gets an extra critical. This card gets an extra critical, and your opponent cannot call grade 0s to the Guardian Circle. So if you combine it with Transcore, if you break right into it, he's pretty good if your opponent doesn't have a Perfect Guard. Of course, they might have one, but they still have to ditch one in order to pay for the Perfect Guard, so they still, lose 3 cards in their hand. If they don't have a Perfect Guard, then they're going to have to drop a lot of grade 1s and 2s to block the attack. Also, in order to get your 4th attack, your rear guards are probably going to attack too. So you're probably going to burn a lot of cards out of your hand from those plays too. So, yeah. Just look at the situation. If you don't think your opponent has a Perfect Guard in their hand, then break riding Salvas into break riding Transcore on with Salvas is might be a good play. Anyway, next we're running I think it's Aqua something. He's the Transcore support. Let me look at his name in case you guys care about that stuff. But his skill is Wave 3. When this card attacks a Vanguard, wave 3 or more, then you can search your deck for a Transcore card and put it into your bind zone, and then shuffle your deck. And then his second skill is Counter Boss 1. During your ride phase, if you have a grade 2 or above Vanguard, then you may pay the cost. If you do, you ride your Transcore card in a stand. So basically, he's used to guarantee your Transcore ride. Although, if you don't draw into him, you still want to maximize your chance of riding Transcore because you want to stride into Mithril-Core, right? So that's why we have Eric and stuff. But Running 4 will hopefully start you off with him in your hand. Yeah. So if your opponent kills this off, you also can't use the ride effect, so you have to protect it. If you have a transcore in your hand and you just use its effect for shits and giggles, you might be able to divert some guard of your opponent's hand. I mean, divert some attacks out of your opponent because they want to get rid of this guy and not help you ride. But for example, if he kills it and then you ride it from hand, and then you call another one, and then your opponent doesn't kill it next turn, you can still ride if you want. If you want to break ride or something, you can do that. For example, if you don't have a grade 3 in your hand or something, and you just want to break ride because you want to get that strong discard, you can do that. So, you know, there's situations. Next, we're running 2 Tidal Assault. You can run more than this if you want. I'm only running 2 because I only have 2 left from all my Aqua Force decks. Split between my my Blue Wave and my Maelstrom and my Salvus deck. I only have 2 left. So running 2, you can run 4 of these if you want. I have other cards that I can run that also work pretty well. But Tidal Assault he's not as important in this deck as he is in other decks. He's still pretty important, but he's not mandatory to run if you don't have any. They are pretty hard to find now, so if you wanna, run something else, you can run other stuff. Running two, what's his face? Tidal Assaults. Fuck, not Tidal. Magnum Assault. This is Tidal Assault. Magnum Assaults. Skill is once per turn, generate strike 1, counter loss 1. When this card attacks during battle, if this card is boosted, you will pay the cost. If you do, stand this unit, and it gets plus 2,000 power, so it becomes an 11k attacker. Mainly, Tidal Assault and Magnum Assault are here for your multiple attacks after your wave 3 or more with your Mithril-Cores. And next, we have 3 Couple Dagger Sailor. This is mainly to help you set up for your first 3 attacks. You're going to attack with this first and then attack with the guy back for your second attack. And then you attack with the Vanguard for your third attack, so that if they don't guard, you can still proc Mithril-Core's effect. But Couple Dagger Sailor's effect is, counter loss 1, when this card attacks during this turn, if it's the first battle, you may pay the cost. If you do, during this battle, it gets plus 2,000 power. She gets plus 2,000 power. And then you can swap positions with the card, with the rear guard in the same column as this. So basically, she's like Basil, except she causes counterblast, but she can hit 11k Vanguards, which is why she's not bad. Yeah. Mainly, you don't want to use Tidal Assaults and Magnum Assaults to use your first 3 attacks with. First 2 attacks. Because you want to give your triggers to them if you hit any, so that you can attack for bigger numbers, and they can restand themselves, so they can do the 4th and 5th attack. Yep. Next, we're running 2 of this messenger. Skill is wave 4 or more. If this card boosts at the end of the battle, you may return this card to your hand. You want to return him to hand because you want to activate his second effect more times. His second effect is Soul Blast 1. When this card is placed in the rear guard circle, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your units, and it gets plus 3,000 power. So you're usually going to pump your Tidal Assaults or Magnum Assaults with them, or you can also pump your Stasias with them. Or if you only have this for your column, you can pump this so that this card can hit a Vanguard. Usually, if that's the case, you're gonna attack Vanguard with this, switch, attack a rear guard with this, so that Yeah. So yeah, we don't waste an attack because wave, attacking rearguard still counts as a wave. Next, we're running 3 Statias. She can also be used to start setting up your attacks. Generous pick 1. During the turn, this card gets gets 2 new skills. The first skill is this card can attack from the back row, and the second skill is when this card attacks from the back row, she gets plus 3,000 power. So she's a 9k attacker. So basically, what you can do is, if you don't have any counterblast, you can attack a rearguard with this, not use her skill, and then attack another rearguard with this, and then you can attack with your Vanguard to get wave 3. And then you'll still have your strong Tidal Assault or Magnum Assault plays. Yeah. Next, running 2 Orothias. Skill is once per turn, Generate 1, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When this card boosts the unit, you may stand it, and then that unit gets minus 5,000 power. And then this card also has resist, so that's quite handy. She's really strong with Tidal Assault if you get triggers, but she's also not bad with any other thing that you have. You basically turn the card in front of her into a less good version of Tidal Assault, but yeah, it's fine. You just want the extra attacks in so that you can force more guard your opponent's hand, so that you can have higher chance to getting Mithril-Core's effect off. So yeah, 2 of her, and then running 2 Shroud Enablers. 2 is enough. Grade 1 lineup is pretty tight. These cards are definitely very important. They're a bit slow early game. They can't help you rush, but if you put this card behind your Vanguard early on, you can still use her as like to get rid of 9k guard later on, which is pretty good. Or 9k attackers on your opponent's field early on, or later on. Blah. So yeah, not bad. And then you're also free to get other attacks in. So cool stuff. Also, his skill, his second skill is not Generation Break, so you can just Soul Blast 1 and then give something plus 3k early on if you want to push for something. And then you can still use his Generation Break skill after that, so that you can still bounce it to your hand. So he's a pretty versatile card. He can help you hit high numbers early on, so that you can force more guard out of your opponent's hand, so that they have less cards to guard with later on. If you want your Mithril-Core attacks to hit. Next, running 4 Pro Guards. Mainly because I don't have any more Pro Guard Gs, but Pro Guards are not. This deck isn't too Counterblast heavy. There are a few things that you Counterblast. Couple Dagger Sailor uses Counterblast. This uses Counterblast, and then Magnum Assault uses Counterblast, and so does Orthia. I think it's Orthia, but yeah, it's not too big of a problem. You don't really need it, especially with Laurel around now. You can prevent Laurel plays with this, I guess, which is pretty important. Next, running 8 crit, 4 draw, and 4 heal. You can run the Marco Clone instead. I don't have enough to put it in this deck, but it makes a bit of a difference. It's not like super game changing, but if you have it, then just put it in. Let's go on to the G Zone. G Zone running 1 Hide Tidal Boar Dragon. Skill is when this card attack hits, if it's the third battle or more that turn, you can draw a card and then call a unit out from your hand. Mainly, if you are using this, if you don't have a Transcore Heart for some reason. So we're running one of these. We are running 3 Mithril-Core Dragons. Skill is Wave 3 or more. When your unit hits a Vanguard, if you have a Transcore Heart, then your opponent can choose to discard a card. If they don't discard a card, you draw 2. So this card applies for all attacks after Wave 3. So it's not just this guy. So he's really good because he basically turns all your attacks Wave 3 and after to really strong attacks. So yeah, he's a pretty good stride, but you know, it does have to hit in order for it to be in order for you to plus. So the pressure enough is a pretty scary. So running 3 Mithril-Cores. Running 2 Lambros. Lambros, in case you know you're in Savas, or if you want to finish, because he's a really good finisher too. He's good if you also don't have a Mithril-Core Heart after your tile board play. You can go into Lambros, or you can go to the Generation Rare Salvas, the Grade 3 or 4 Salvas, who is also pretty good. His skill is active. You can activate it during main phase. So once per turn, you can G-flip himself, and then you can give one of your rear guards plus 5,000 power, and 2 new skills. One of them is that it can attack from the back row, and the second skill is a Generation Brick 3, Wave 4 or more, or Wave 4. Sorry, just Wave 4. When a unit attacks a Vanguard, then you choose 3 of your opponent's rear guards, and your opponent chooses one of them and kills it. So it's pretty much the same as Salvas's. The second skill is the same as Salvas's Stride Break skill, except you get this card gives something a bonus 5,000 power. So if you try on top of this guy on your 4th attack that turn, you can kill 2 things. It's pretty swag. But yeah, that's pretty much the deck. It's a very fun deck to play. The deck does hurt a bit if you can't ride into Mithril-Core, but Savas is still a very strong backup Vanguard because, you know, Savas does actually have a deck on his own, so he's not too shabby. Of course, you have things to boost your consistency of riding Transcore, and yeah. Again, if I don't know, you can help me correct people if they're not listening, but if some guys start bashing me for not running 4 Tidal Assaults, then, or 4 Magnum Assault, whatever, then just you can replace whatever you want here. Or if you really want to, you can replace the couple Dagger Sailors. For example, if you have like 2 Magnum Assaults, then I guess that's okay. But yeah, another reason that Crypto Dagger Sailor is good is because when this card attacks, if they guard the first attack, that's fine, and then you have another attacker. Just say it's like this or something, and with your second attack here, you're gonna attack a rear guard so that you can choose your opponent doesn't get a damage trigger, so that your attacks after that will still hit for numbers that your opponent won't have damage triggers to increase your defense with. And that's good because you can have a higher chance of getting Mithril-Core off, because Mithril-Core, again, if your opponent doesn't discard, you do get a draw 2, so it is a very good effect. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. I'm extra tired today because I had 7.5 hours of class, pretty much back to back, and it's pretty brutal. Hopefully they'll change the schedule or something, because it's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, this is pretty much it from me today. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Card Otaku, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.